Welcome back to the fourth lecture of Module 3. In this lecture, we will see various recursive functions. By definition, a recursive function is not much different from any other function. Basically, a function calling itself directly or indirectly is known as a recursive function. It is very difficult to understand. A recursive function repeats itself several times in order to compute or return final output. So basically, the recursive function is an iteration function. The recursive functions are quite common in computer programming as they allow programmers to write efficient programs with minimal code. So basically, the recursive function is an iterative function, which is a function which keep on continuing till the iteration is over and the result will be displayed or it will be transferred. So it will be very useful for the user who can avoid a lot of steps. What are the characteristics of a recursive function? A recursive function is a function which calls itself. So it's like a iteration within the function. It is calling again and again until the iteration cycle is complete. Speed is slower due to the stack overhead. Just leave this one. Just learn that the speed of recursive program is slower. A recursive function must have terminating conditions or base case and recursive expressions. So there is some condition to stop the iteration. The general syntax is for a function you have integer main statement recurse statement. So when the recurse is coming, the control will jump to the user function void recurse statement. Okay, general syntax. Let's see a problem to make it clear. So this problem, so this problem is to find the factorial of an integer using the recursive or iterative program. What is a factorial? That means 3 factorial is equal to 3 into 2 into 1. 5 factorial is equal to 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So it's like a factorial 5 or n factorial is equal to n into n minus 1 factorial in a very simple way. Okay, so I have made some color coding to make it easily visible and understandable. You have the header file. I'll put it in pen mode. You have hash include input output string accepted using namespace std with a semicolon accepted. Then the control will go to the main function. So integer main, the bracket, simple brackets, curly bracket of correct. Integer defined as n is equal to 4, correct. Cout factorial of, so this will be displayed as such n factorial of 4 is fact10. So this is actually the user defined function. So when this comes directly, the control will go to the user defined function. So we have integer fact integer n. In this we have an if else condition. So if n equal to 0, we have n equal to 4. If n equal to 0 or n equal to 1, return 1. It's only condition there. Else, so we have the value of n as 4. So directly it is coming under the else. Return n into factorial n minus 1. So during the first stage, the returning value will be 4 into 3 factorial. Okay. So this factorial is again a function. This is the beauty of recursive function. Again, this is a function name. So again, the control will go to the user-defined function to know basically the 3 factorial. So in the next step, incoming, the value will be 4 into. So now we got the value of 3 factorial. Okay, the 3 factorial will be 3 into 2 factorial. So this step is continued. In the next stage, we have 2 is there. So 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. And in the last stage, we have as n is equal to n, we have the value of returning 1. So 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 will be the 4 factorial, and that is what asked in the program. So the factorial will be displayed. So this is the beauty of recursive function. A function inside the, or a iteration function inside the user defined function. Okay, let's see one more problem. So the output is factorial of 4 is, we have 4 into 3, 12 into 2, 24. Similarly, see this problem. The same type for like the factorial. Hash include input output stream using namespace std. Control will come to the integer main. Integer main, okay. Integer base is equal to 3, power equal to 5. It means 3 power 5. Cout base. Then we have raised to the power. So that means cout base, as it is not put it in the double quotes, directly the value is coming 3. 3 raised to power. So 3, this is put it in double quote so that the string is returned. So that's what the value coming here, as it not in the double quotes, 3 raised to the power is 5 is. Then this user defined function comes. So you can see the output, you can compare with the output. Function find power. So the control will jump to the user defined function. Let's see some additional information called by the actual argument to this address. The formal argument in this user defined function exits with the value executed first as the main function exits with the actual argument. Okay, correct. So we have the user defined function here. Find integer, find power, integer base, integer power. If power is equal to 0, return 1. That means like the a raised to 0 is equal to 1. Only to not that one. Is any integer. Okay. So the first condition come to else. Return base. So base is 3 into find power. Find power of base. So we sort for the answer of 3 raised to 5. Right. So we have base is value 3. 3 into find power of base value we know 3 power minus 1, 3 power 4. Okay, next this step to evaluate. Okay, again this condition will come to here. So this will be repeated. It will be like 3 into 3 raised to 4 as in the first step. Then 3 into 3 into 3 power 3. Sorry for the handwriting. Then again we have 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 power 2. Then like 3 power 1 and 3 power 0 will be this case. If power equal to 0, the value will be 1. Okay, so we'll get the value of 3 into like 3 power 5 will be the output value, that is 243. So this is the beauty of the recursive function. Okay, now we'll see some other applications of the functions, like calling a array into the function. So the basic syntax remains same in the ender module of this function. Let's see the problem directly. In example 1, passing one dimensional array to a function, or want to transfer the or to call an array by the function. C++ program to display marks of 5 students by passing one dimensional array to a function. Uh, just as a note, arrays can be passed to a function as an argument. Consider this example to pass one dimensional array to a function. Okay, let's see this problem. Hash include input output string using namespace std. Yeah. So we are defining integer or the main program before the user defined function, so that we are giving the variable definition first. So we have void display is the function name, integer marks 5. So after the execution 1, 2 and 3, the control will come to the integer main, yeah, the simple brackets, curly brackets, integer marks 5. They defined already the 5 marks, display marks. So this is a user defined function. The control will jump here. So this is what this is the actual parameter, and this is the formal parameter. So we have void display integer m5, uh, yeah, with opening with a curly bracket, cout displaying marks. So this will be the first output to come. End line. So we have the for loop for getting the values out, as we seen in the arrays of taking the values out. For integer I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus student, then I plus 1. So initially the value of I is 0. So cout student I plus 1. Yeah, that means student 1 will come here. Student 1 is mi. So first student's mark is 88. That will come here. Student I is 0. Student 1 is mi will be the first, the 0th position, or the first value of the matrix. So it will be clear by this display. Yeah. So displaying marks. Student 1 88, student 2 76. It will be keep on going. We have see this, there is end line, that's why all the marks are displayed, or they are printed in a new line. If this end line is not there, just after 88 student 2 will come, student 3 will come, all will come in a single line. So this is very important, end line. This is very clear. Then after this one, the value will uh, jump, or it will be transferred to the main function. The beauty of this is that actually we are not, there is no returning of values. You see this program in this one, we are not transferring any values like return. So directly the cout option inside the user defined function will display the value. Okay, we don't need to transfer. If there is a transfer, there will be a return command here. Return marks or something will be there. Directly the user if function is used here to display the marks. Some notes when an array is passed as an argument, when an when an array is passed as an argument to a function, only the name of the array is used as the argument. Display marks was the display marks was the formal actual parameter, and also notice the difference by passing array as an argument rather than a variable. Void display integer m5 is the formal parameter. The argument marks in the above code represents the memory address for the element array m5. So it's basically the explanation of this integer marks relation with the or the integer m5 relation with the marks. These are the calling official calling parameters. So the values that means the values will be storing in the address. So there is no delay in getting the values and the assign. Similarly, the problem of calling multi-dimensional array. So the procedure remains same. Only in the case of multi-dimensional array, you will be having two for loop, integer I and integer j. It's only difference come. So this passing multi-dimensional array to a function, C++ program to display the two-dimensional array by passing it to a function. Hash include input output stream, okay. Using namespace std, okay. Yeah, you define this one as the main function is coming. After reading this, the control will come to integer main. This correct integer number 32 of size 3 rows and 2 columns 3 4 4 9 5 7 1. Okay, display number, yeah, user defined function will come to the user defined function. Void display integer n of 3 2. So yeah, we have this is a formal actual parameter and formal parameter. Cout displaying values is will be displayed as such. N line for I equal to 0. Yeah, this is for integer 0. Cout nj nij. So you should know that displaying values is here. Then after next line only the directly the values will be printed without any prefix. And one more important thing, there is no end line after this cout, so all the values will be printed in a single line. It's very clear too. Okay, just leave that. Next is passing the string to a function, like the array, same procedure. In the case of passing string to a function, the strings are passed to a function in a similar way. Arrays are passed to a function. Let's go get into the problem. Include input output stream, okay. Using namespace std with a semicolon, okay. So we defined two variables before the main function. Void display character star, void display string, okay. So we have integer main bracket, curly bracket, string str1 definition, character str100, okay. Cout end string, cout enter string. So this will be displayed. We'll show the output also parallelly. So the first one to display is enter string with the colon. Then this we learned in the unformatted consoles that getLine C in str1 will replace the C in option. The definition is given here. GetLine is a standard library function that is used to read a string or a line from an input string. So even we can use the scene or option here, but just for a change, use the get line. So the user will input the string. Input programming is fun. Then next, cout enter another string. enter another string. Again, a different way of entering the C input. C in dot get str. It can accommodate a string of size 100 and no line. So we put really. Then display str1, display str. So display str1 will hand over the control to the user function enter character. So this printing is or this function is not returning any value to the main function. This will be directly executed. This function will be executed, and as a first stage, we have the third output. And due to this second command in the main function, we have the for statement. Okay. So the third statement like void display character s see out enter character array is s. So we have as we already defined that the S is the first one is the programming is fun here. Okay. So directly that will be printed here and see out and the character array is really. So to know that the S is actually a global variable. That means the values are taken by all the functions inside this program. We'll stop for now.